Where does that star appear? They said that in Bethlehem. Bethlehem. So he ordered to kill all the children, all the kids, okay, in Bethlehem. At that time, Gabriel, the angel, he appeared to Joseph, the carpenter, who was the fiancé of Mary, and he told her that take your child and go to refugee in Egypt. So they came to Egypt and they started a great visit to the Holy Family in Egypt. And according to some traditions that Jesus, he came to Egypt when he was nearly 1 year old, and it said that he spent in Egypt till he became 12 years old. All the infants of Jesus, all his childhood that was in Egypt. And according also to all the traditions, that lots of miracles that happened in Egypt with the arrival of Jesus. Wherever he gone, that miracles happened, that the water come from the earth, that the lots of sick people, that they were treated well by him and they became healthy. Lots of miracles that happens with the arrival of Jesus. So Egypt, this is a great land. So also with Islam, also I should not forget this, that also has a great relation with Islam that we'll take after that. So with the three religions, Egypt has a strong relation with all of them.
Right. Let me talk more about Egypt in the Holy Quran.
Okay. In Quran, we say that Egypt mentioned in Quran in 5 times by its name. By its name. And this a unique value just for Egypt, not with any other country. I talk about country. Even with a city like Mecca, yes, it is the mother of villages, al-Qura, but Egypt is the mother of the world. As we say that, Masr al-Dunya. This is a real nomination for Egypt, and it has an old tradition that I will say later. In Quran, Egypt mentioned in 5 times by its name, and more than 40 times by a city or Egyptian city, by a name of the Nile, by the name of mountains, by even the word land, ard. Yeah. It's related with Egypt in 10 times that they say that land or al-ard, this to show Egypt. As it's mentioned in the Surah Yusuf, Ij'alni ala khaza'in al-ard, put me on the treasures of the land. So according to the interpreters of Quran, they said that. And instead of saying that, make me keeper of the treasures of Egypt, he said, make me over the treasures of the land, as the Egypt, the most wealthiest country of the whole earth, and so on. So before the 5 times or 5 places in Egypt, the first one in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah says, أتستبدلون الذي هو أدنى بالذي هو خير اهبطوا مصرا فإن لكم ما سألتم. So go down to Egypt and you're gonna find, or you're gonna find all that you ask for. So Egypt, the land, if you ask something, also there is a meaning for this. You can find all that you want in Egypt. اهبطوا مصرا فإن لكم ما سألتم. This is the first place. The second place, it is in Surah Yunus. Allah says, وأوحينا إلى موسى وأخيه أن تبوأ لقومكما بمصر بيوتا وجعلوا بيوتكم قبلة وأقيموا الصلاة. Allah says to a revelation, أوحينا, to Moses and his brother Harun, okay, أوحينا إلى موسى أن تبوأ بمصر بيوتا. So take houses in Egypt and make your houses as a qibla. So this is the first qibla on the earth, because the first qibla, as we know, in Jerusalem, Bayt al-Maqdis, but it was after the Exodus, when the sons of Israel, they left Egypt. During that time, they were in Egypt. So if we talk about qibla, so it is the first qibla in all the religions, not just in Islam, and to pray to God in this. The third place that Egypt mentioned in Quran, it is in Surah Yusuf. Egypt mentioned by its name 2 times in Yusuf or Surah Yusuf. Yeah. Allah says that وَقَالَ الَّذِي اشْتَرَاهُ مِنْ مِصْرَ لِامْرَأَتِهِ أَكْرِمِي مَثْوَاهُ عَسَىٰ أَنْ يَنْفَعَنَا أَوْ نَتَّخِذَهُ وَلَدًا. So also the man who bought Prophet Joseph, peace be upon to him, and he make him the keeper of the servant of his house, and he told his woman, as we say, that is Sulaykha, as is mentioned on the tradition, and take care of this child and treat him well. May us, we can benefit of him, or may we take him as a son. So God established to Joseph in this house. Yes, that happened, what the problem with him, with this woman, and that he went to the prison. After that, Joseph became as the master of Egypt. Also, Egypt is the first country to be ruled by a prophet. That is very important. The only country in the world, and the first one that was ruled by a prophet, it was Joseph. 3 centuries, 4 centuries after that, when David and Solomon, they became the rulers of Palestine. But Egypt was before ruled by the prophet Joseph, and also it was a grace and a great value and a great possession of Egypt. The first time that, or the first place that Egypt mentioned in Quran, also in the Surah Yusuf, فَلَمَّا دَخَلُوا عَلَى يُوسُفَ آوَى إِلَيْهِ أَبْوَيْهِ وَقَالَ ادْخُلُوا مِصْرَ إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ آمِنِينَ. This is one of the greatest verses of Quran related to Egypt. ادْخُلُوا مِصْرَ. Go to Egypt, enter Egypt in peace with the will of God. 2 countries in Quran that they were promised to be secured in Quran. The first one, Mecca, and was secured by Prophet Abraham. Prophet Abraham in Quran said that Allahumma ja'al hazal balada amina. So this is from Prophet Abraham, or a prayer from Prophet Abraham for Mecca to be secured city or country. For Egypt, Egypt was promised by the prayer of Prophet Joseph. But also if we compare between both of them, that Egypt was secured by its name. ادخلوا مصر إن شاء الله آمنين. For Mecca, اللهم اجعل هذا البلد آمنا. So it is mentioned without the name of Mecca itself. Also, I think I can guess lots of meaning that Egypt to be mentioned, secured by also the will of God. This for the confirmation of the security of Egypt. So for the 5th time, or the 5th place that Egypt mentioned in Quran, this is in Surah Al-Zukhruf. Allah says, وَنَادَ فِرْعَوْنُ فِي قَوْمِهِ قَالَ يَا قَوْمِ أَلَيْسَ لِي مُلْكُ مِصْرَ وَهَذِهِ الْأَنْهَارُ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِي أَفَلَا تُبْصِرُونَ. The only country in Quran related with the kingship, okay, was Al-Mulk. This just related to Egypt. So Sayyidina Amr ibn al-As, when he became the ruler of Egypt, he said that to be a ruler of Egypt looks like a caliph. Even that he just a ruler of a country, it's a part of a big caliph or caliphate. He said that Egypt is similar to be the caliphate of the Muslim. So that is a great meaning that we can guess of the Quran about Egypt and its position and its religious value in Quran. We have lots of things that we can say about Egypt in Quran. Okay.
Right. At the end, Dr. Ismail Hamid, researcher in Islamic history, always a pleasure having you with us, and we really enjoy listening to
Thank
all
you.
what you are saying every
Thank you.
time.
Indeed, dear viewers, the history in Egypt has defeated empires and also kingdoms such as the Persians, the Mongolians, and others, and also now Egypt will stand in the face of any attempts to destabilize the region or to cause or to pose, I mean, a threat to the Middle East. I would like to thank my colleague Nashwa Rashid and signing off for the crew and myself and Nashwa. This is goodbye.